You don't feel at peace, but you don't feel certain enough to leave either. You keep living in the in-between. And that question keeps returning, quietly. Is this just a rough season, or is this something that isn't meant to be fixed? In today's episode, we're going to slow this question down so you can stop living inside it. This video is for emotional clarity and reflection, not legal or medical advice. Welcome to the Bridge Forward, a space for honest conversations about life before, during, and after divorce. One of the hardest places to be isn't knowing your marriage is over. It's actually not knowing. A rough season and a broken marriage can look very similar from the outside. They both have distance, they have disappointment, and they have silence in common. The difference isn't how bad it feels. It's actually what happens after things go wrong. So how do you tell the difference? There are a few quiet signs that tend to show up over time. These signs aren't about blame. They are about noticing patterns, especially how repair shows up when something breaks. Let's start with the first one. The first indicator we will talk about today is this. Is there still repair? In a rough season, even when things are hard, there is still some effort to fix what went wrong. Maybe the apology comes late, or maybe the conversation doesn't go well, but someone comes back and says, "Can we talk about this?" Or, "I don't want things to stay like this." It's imperfect, but there is still movement toward each other. In a broken marriage, on the other hand, that effort slowly fades. Only one person tries, or no one even does at all. You may still talk about daily life, kids, schedules, responsibilities, but you're no longer trying to understand each other. Nothing really gets resolved. Things just get pushed aside. Something for you to think about. When something breaks between you and your partner, do you both try to fix it, or does it quietly stay broken? The second indicator we will talk about today is how conflict feels. In a rough season, conflict feels uncomfortable, but it's meaningful. You may argue, you may disagree, but underneath it, there's still a sense that the conversation matters. In a broken marriage, conflict feels pointless. You stop bringing things up. You're not trying to keep the peace, but because you already know how it will end. The defensiveness, the silence, or emotional shutdown, all that isn't peace. It's exhaustion. I want you to reflect on this and ask yourself, do you avoid hard conversations because they are difficult, or because they feel completely useless? The third indicator for today is this. Your body knows. The truth is this. Your body often knows before your mind is ready to admit it. In a rough season, being together may feel heavy, but there is still some warmth underneath. In a broken marriage, your body feels relief in distance, relief when they are not home, calm when you're alone, tension when they walk through the door. That doesn't make you cold or unloving. It's your body giving you some information. For this indicator, I want you to simply reflect and ask yourself, do you feel more like yourself when you're with your partner or when you are by yourself? The next indicator we will talk about is the future test. I want you to try this quietly. When you imagine your future, peace, growth, the next chapter, does your partner naturally appear, or do you have to intentionally place them there? In a rough season, the future still feels like us. In a broken marriage, the future slowly becomes me, not out of anger, but honesty. So for this one, I want you to reflect and ask yourself this question. When you daydream about your life ahead, who is standing beside you? I don't want you to judge what you see. Just look. Final indicator we will talk about today is growing together or alone. Growth actually changes people. In a rough season, growth is still shared, even if uneven. You're learning, they are also learning, and there is room for both. In a broken marriage, on the other hand, growth creates distance. One person reflects, adapts, and evolves, while the other resists or stays the same. You don't feel met. You feel alone, even while married. I want you to reflect on this final indicator and ask yourself this question. Do you feel supported in who you are becoming? Or do you feel held back? Here is the truth many people struggle to accept. A rough season feels painful, but it still holds hope. A broken marriage doesn't always feel dramatic. Often, it feels quiet, heavy, clear, and confusing because nothing big happened. I experienced all of these signs, but I didn't understand what they meant until I became still enough to understand my body. If listening to these signs has brought up more questions than answers, I want you to know that's okay. It's a sign you're listening to yourself. You don't need to decide anything today. Clarity comes from listening and understanding. And if this conversation resonates, subscribe to the Bridge Forward. This is where we talk about what comes before the decision, during the uncertainty, and after the rebuilding. You deserve clarity, not confusion. I'll see you in the next one.